Hi, folks. This is Christopher Hobbs, and I want to talk about this fascinating group of medicinal mushrooms called reishi. And there are so many different species that have been used traditionally. This is Ganoderma sichuanense. Ganoderma, the genus name, comes from the fact that the top of the caps are often very lustrous and shiny. You can see the light playing on there. So Ganoderma means shiny skin. And this particular one is Sichuanense, and it's a very large one that comes from Sichuan province in China. There are many other ones. There is a black reishi, Ganoderma sinense. Each one of them have thought to be able to do different things. Here is a cultivated reishi. This is kind of a small one. You can note the white pores here, and again, the kind of the lustrous cap. Here are some slices of reishi, because reishi is a fairly tough mushroom. People often ask me, is it edible? And well, it's not tender and delicious. I mean, you're not going to cut it up and steam it with vegetables and enjoy the tender reishi mushroom. It's got a lot of fiber in it. Here you can see some reishi fruiting body that's been sliced to make it easier to make teas out of and so forth. So reishi itself is not tender. It's very hard. It's full of incredible amounts of fiber, namely beta glucans in the cell walls, and also another polymer called chitin, which is the same polymer that's found in crab shells. So it's very, very tough, very hard. And the mycelium that goes out into the forest or into the soil, into trees that are dying and decaying, it goes in there. They have to push through that cellulose and the lignin in the tree, or in the soil. So the cell walls of mushrooms have to be very, very tough, and that's the case with Ganoderma. And people do cultivate reishi mushrooms. This is a cultivated one here that's been chopped off of a block. So if you boil up and make the right mixture of wood or sawdust, maybe grain, and then you inoculate it with the mycelium, then you can actually get it to grow on the block, and eventually, once it starts producing fruiting bodies, you can cut the fruiting bodies off and utilize them. Or you can try to find them in the wild. This one was also cultivated, and you can see that it's been cut off here with a short stem. So this is probably grown on perhaps a log that was decaying or freshly dead, or even bags. They put them in bags as well, but sometimes the logs are half buried and the fruiting bodies come up. Thousands and thousands of fruiting bodies. Reishi is so popular. It's the #1 selling mushroom, so it is extremely popular. And the second probably being lion's mane. Chaga is coming up in popularity recently. So there are a number of medicinal mushrooms that have fantastic benefits and have been used really literally for 2,000 years. But certainly reishi is one of the most ancient of all and has so many different benefits. And the benefits really include, and it depends on color, but the red ones like this really have thought to affect the nervous system. So they're good at calming if you're using the tea regularly. So you can, how do you access it? The powder or in a usable form, because all mushrooms really have to be cooked, and especially a fruiting body like this, it's so tough. It has to be sliced or ground up and steam heated up to a pretty high temperature to break down the cell walls and to release the active compounds, the terpenes, and the beta glucans and the chitin. So all of these have to be broken apart so that when we ingest it, it actually starts interacting with receptor sites in our gut and then initiates this beautiful immune modulating effect that can amp up our immune system against viruses, against cancers. And that's why it's been so popular, because beta glucan, really the most studied compound in reishi mushrooms or in mushrooms in general that can activate our immune response, it really is very high in certain mushrooms and much lower in others. For instance, shiitake might have about 25 to 35% beta glucan. And again, these are the most studied and the most important active compounds that are immunomodulating. So Reishi and turkey tails. So reishi and turkey tails are the highest in beta glucans, and that's why they've been so revered over the centuries as immunomodulators, cancer protectors, and to help our immune system ward off infections. And this is the turkey tail here. See the front and back of it. And these are very common on decaying wood worldwide, really around the world. But reishi is arguably right up there with the highest of any mushroom in beta glucans. Therefore, it is the strongest immunomodulating and protective mushroom. So people often ask me, well, what medicinal mushroom should I start with if I want to get onto a medicinal mushroom program? I want to protect myself. I want to boost my immunity. In that case, then I'm going to always recommend turkey tail, which has the most clinical trials of any mushroom, a medicinal mushroom, and then secondly, reishi. So those are the two to really start with. You can buy many different types of powders out there. You can buy fruiting bodies that are organically grown and grind them up and make your own. I actually have a section in my new book, Medicinal Mushrooms, the Essential Guide. I have a section in it that shows you how to go ahead and grind them up and cook them and make your own instant tea powders. But you can buy instant tea powders, the powders that have been treated, been heated, broken down, and so the active compounds are very accessible to our body and to our immune system. So if you get powders out there, you can get different varieties of powders, but it's good to pick organic ones, in my opinion. It's nice to have organic. And also, you have to be careful about how much beta glucan is actually in the product. So I'm real keen on buying from companies that are guaranteeing the amount of beta glucans. Maybe 15% beta glucans is a good amount to have in there, guaranteed. So that's something also to look for. And so if you're using regularly, you're using turkey tail or reishi, you can take it pretty much every day. There really are no restrictions about safety issues, about allergy issues. People often ask me, well, if I have candida, can I still use medicinal mushrooms? I've never really seen a harmful effect using higher mushrooms like reishi and turkey tail if you have, say, a yeast overgrowth. I have never seen really across. Not that it isn't impossible, but I've never really seen that happen. So I recommend starting with reishi or turkey tail, taking about a half teaspoon to a teaspoon of the powder in a little water, juice, smoothie, whatever way you want to use it. And I put it in with matcha tea every morning, and I use my reishi powder with matcha tea, and that's a very, very good way to start the day, as far as I'm concerned. Give my immune system a boost, and my body and nervous system a little bit of boost as well, and all those antioxidants. And reishi has a lot of antioxidants in it as well, so it is highly protective. So while you're taking reishi to boost your immunity and to protect ourselves throughout the cold and flu season, or now in the age of the pandemic, and I'm using it every morning, then you're getting side benefits rather than side effects. And there really is no other type of natural medicine that I've ever seen or heard of or read about in the scientific literature that has the same ability to modulate and to regulate our immune system in a good way and protect us. And on the other hand, it has really virtually no side effects. It's more like a food medicine. So again, start off with reishi. This is certainly one of the best ones that you can start off with. And again, you can buy fruiting bodies and make your own. You could even grow your own. You can buy spawn or logs and grow your own. Or you can get powders that are already made up, steamed powders that guarantee 15% beta glucan. And that's a very good way to get going with them. And give it a try. Try it for about 6 weeks is a good time, and see if you don't feel the difference. Maybe more energy, maybe you just, your immune system is just more feeling stronger. And our immune system is really the central to our being. And so our immune system is really connected to our nervous system, our hormonal system, all these systems. Our immune system is just central. And so, and stress, constant stress can really tear down or weaken our immune response. And we can feel this all over our body when that happens. We might feel run down, we might feel fatigue. Well, it could be that it has something to do with our immune response. Or chronic inflammation. We're actually kicking up chronic inflammation because of our diet, and again, because of constant stress. So I can't speak highly enough for just the use of these simple natural medicines, reishi, turkey tail to start with. There are a lot of other good ones, lion's mane, chaga, and I'll talk about those in other videos. But you certainly can't go wrong starting with the turkey tail or reishi, or you can also get a blend for specific protection or ailments like antiviral, anti-cancer. I like going with reishi and turkey tail, or nervous system, maybe lion's mane. But these blends, like a 5 blend or a 10 blend, those can be very, very helpful as a general supplement, and you're getting the benefits of all these different species combined. So um, I'm going to produce more videos talking about the other species, but this is just an introduction on or on reishi and turkey tail. And I hope you're able to try some and that you gain a lot of benefit from it. So thanks for watching.